So, the Penguins played last night and the night before, lost 3-1 and 3-2 respectively to Chicago. But the two games before that, they beat the Red Wings 5-2, followed by beating the Islanders by same score of 5-2. And would you look at that? The Penguins now find themselves just 2 points, I believe, out of a playoff spot. And who would have thought it just a few short weeks ago? Mike Sullivan's come in. He's done a great job. The team has now made it into the top 11 in puck possession. They've improved so much. Their Corsi has improved a lot, whereas we see most teams in the East, their Corsi is going down. We've seen that in the Rangers. Lundqvist is not playing well, so the Rangers are losing. That was the big reason why they were winning, is they had a high PDO. The Penguin shooting percentage is going up. I mean, who really thought they would shoot like 3% the whole year? Finally, it's regressing back to the mean. Crosby's is going up. It's still low for him, but it's going back up. Letang is on fire, 9 points in his last 4 games. He's in a 4-point scoring streak. The Penguins are finally winning. So, back to the game last night. Penguins were way outplayed. This tends to be a trend on the second half of back-to-backs. They played very well the first game. Managed to get a point out of Chicago thanks to the great play of Sidney Crosby and Kris Letang, the all-star Kris Letang, and the snub Crosby, but it's not really a big deal. I mean, I'm sure he's happy to miss the game. But last night, just like the night before, Artemi Panarin, Calder Trophy favorite, scores 2 goals, and Teuvo Teravainen seals the deal with the empty net goal, and they win 3-1. However, Fleury was outstanding. I was very surprised he played back-to-back because he usually doesn't go well for the goalie in the second half. He was the only reason they were even in the game. I think he had 37, 38 shots, and most of his saves were 10-bell saves. When you're playing a team like Chicago, you always have to be on your toes. Penguins, unfortunately, did not come to play. They had a season low, 18 shots on net. No player had a Corsi of above 48, I believe. I was looking at hockeystats.ca last night. I think Ole Mata had the highest. It was in the 40s. Everyone was pretty bad. Sergei Plotnikov was about 12%, so he only had the puck 12% of the time. But he had 0% of his starts in the offensive zone, so he was always starting in the defensive zone. And when you do that, automatically you're not going to have the puck as much. Simple. However, Letang got a point, continued his scoring streak. As I said, the league took notice, named him to the All-Star team. Malkin also scored on the power play. He's also named to the All-Star team. Crosby did not score last night. He's heating up. He now has 31 points in 38 games. So still not Sidney Crosby-esque, but almost a point per game player. And it's kind of started in the game in Toronto a week or so ago, where we finally started to see him play like the Crosby that we used to. And it wasn't that he wasn't playing well before. It's just that Mike Johnson's system did not allow him to play to his potential because he was trying to defend instead of always getting the puck. Also, having Kris Letang back helps because, as we see, the Penguins can generate offense. The big boys can get going with Letang in the lineup. Without him in the lineup, they, I believe, are 1-7-2. It's just brutal. He is probably the most important player to the team. I would say much more than Fleury or Malkin or Crosby, because as we saw when Fleury was out, Matt Murray came in and did an outstanding job. Showed that he's NHL ready. Should be the full-time backup next year. Crosby and Malkin, yes, they're obviously very important, but they have other guys who can score, other guys who can chip in. They have Phil Kessel. He's starting to play better. Perron's playing a bit better. Bo Bennett, if he ever gets back from injury. So they have other players, but they really don't have anyone else on defense. And as we saw last night in the Seth Jones and Ryan Johansson trade, number 1 defensemen are highly coveted. And the reason why Nashville is able to give them up is because they have other players who can move the puck. And they don't have any scores. Now that they have a score, it causes a threat. When Letang is not on the ice, it's so hard for the forwards to get the puck. But now that we have Daly back there, which was still a genius trade, it's a bit better. Ole Mata can move the puck, but none of them can move it to the same way Letang can. I mean, his assist the other night against Chicago was brilliant. Basically, end-to-end toe drag around some great players. Made them look silly. Popped it into Crosby, who scored, and then his shot off the face-off to score. It was just brilliant. His skill when he's on his game is just so good. He's so fun to watch, and it just shows how important he is to this team, and especially when he stays healthy, he adds so much, and obviously when he's not healthy, he can't add anything. So if he could just stay healthy, the Penguins can do some damage, because without him, they are screwed. They have no one on the back end. We've traded away everyone. Derek Pouliot's toiling in the minors, probably not helping his development, but he's not exactly lighting it up down there. Dumoulin's having a great season, but I would like to see him away from Lovejoy a bit more. I'd like to see him with Daly. I think they're married to that pairing, and I think that with the new coaching staff, I'd like to see them maybe get a try with Letang, maybe him get a try with Mata or Daly or something, because he's playing very well, and Oli Mata can move the puck, but it's just no one can skate the way Letang can. No one can create offense the way he can from the back end. He is the catalyst, and that's why he's always getting hit, because he always has the puck. So I'm not saying he needs to change his game, but he definitely needs to be aware of those hits. He could be the next Derek Bugard or the next Bob Probert or the next guy to die from CTE, and we don't want that. So team really needs to start taking better care of him, because yes, we can't afford Crosby and Malkin to get injured, but I would say even more so, Letang is the one guy, and the record has shown this, that we need him in the lineup to be successful. And if he's not in the lineup, we're not going to be successful. Our defense is severely lacking. We chose to go young, and when you have to rely on guys like Dumoulin and Mata in the playoffs, it's asking a bit much. So the doctors really need, they should really be fired, but the way they've handled their stars has just been atrocious, and it's been unacceptable, and they really need to take a hard look in the mirror and tell Letang, look, you are not playing the rest of this game, especially against Minnesota when they're winning 3-1. There was no need to put him back in, because if he gets one more, he's probably done, and there would be a really big loss, not just to the Penguins, but to all of hockey, because he's such a great talent, and he's so fun to watch. So they really, really need to get their priorities straight and treat players better, because their concussion management is just brutal. If you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you really like it. Share with all your friends. Post on your Facebook, Twitter, Vine, whatever, what have you. Tell everyone, and I'll see you after our next game, Saturday against the Montreal Canadiens. Should be a very interesting matchup. Crosby always does very well against Montreal, and Letang will look to continue his point streak to 5 games. That's all for now.